Hey, Chaos, make sure you get data this time if you could, man. Just in case.
Will do.
Thank you, sir.
All right, let's see. Alright, I finally got everything all set up. We're not entirely sure how much time is left, but we just saw Decorah set the fastest lap with a 1:07.218. We just lost Vance and Taylor Funk. I have to see, oh yeah, we are at the very end. Let's see if anyone else is going to come through for a lap here. We've got Luke Brax who's going to be coming around as well. I think that's Ginger, but Ginger seems to be disconnected. Ginger P11, Luke Brax currently sitting in P9 here. Coming along. His current time is a 1:07.8. He's looking pretty good to best that. That was very weird. It looked like he was going faster than that, but possibly a little bit of desync going on here. There's no one else sitting a remaining lap except for, well, Brothertron's on an out lap, but he won't be able to set anything at all here, as far as I can tell. He comes across. Still P18 for the moment. Brothertron apparently still on a lap here. He's definitely pushing. His best time currently a 1:09.3. Cub and Flex both do not have laps, but both of them appear to be in the session, which is good to see, good to see. So talking a bit about the standings in the championship right now, there are three races left with 78 points left to be claimed. Flex currently holds a 1-point lead ahead of Camborne, 218 to 217, and they are a long step out from the rest of the racers. There we go. This should be Brother John finishing off the qualifying session as he comes across with a 108.281, and that's enough to push him up to 16th place, just ahead of Nameless Nate, who is here. Glad to see him for the season finale. So there are a couple of battles going on in the championship right now. We've got the Flex and Camborne battle, and once again, Cam's got a bit of a nice position here. So let's have a look at this. We've got Decora on pole with a 107.018, and we are on board for that, just ahead of Xmax, Rafa, Vans, Taylor Funk, Aslan, Camborne, Raro, Luke Brax, and Fiji Dummo, all qualifying on the softs. And then we're going to have everyone who is outside of the top 10. We've got Ginger, P11, free choice of tires, ahead of Balzac, T Goldie, Red Baron, J. Old Patel, Brother John, Nameless Nate, Ian Brax, Cub, who only set that one lap, and Flex, who did not set any lap times at all. So we're going to have a moment here before we move on into the into this. It's the second of the final quartet of races. We had a race in Mexico last week that was won by X-Max, who is just on an absolute tear. That is 5 podiums in the last 6 races. No one is scoring the way that X-Max is scoring right now. But we're going to see what Decora can do. Last time, things went disastrously. Oh, someone hit go to track right away this time. So we're not going to have very much time to set things up. I'm going to take just a moment here. There we go. So, trying to figure out what's exactly is going on, but hopefully everyone was able to get their strategies in. Brother John, bemoaning the lack of strategy. Well, we'll see how things turn out. Alright, so, here we have it. The start of this race, and I think Flex is sitting on track. Flex is sitting on track. Let's see if everything's alright there. So we've got Decora just ahead of X-Max and Rafa. Vans and Taylor Funk, Aslan ahead of Camborne, P7, Bravo, P8, Luke Brax, Fiji Demo, Ginger and Balzac, T Goldie, Brother John, J.O. Patel, Nameless Nate. Weird little slide out of order there. Ian Brax, Cub, who's just behind him, and then we've got Red Baron and Flex, who for some reason his car is just sort of chilling out there. Oddities abound. And we're all hoping for the very best for Flex's car here. Hopefully he is able to get going. So Decora is bringing the cars up, and in a moment we are going to be starting the Brazilian Grand Prix. Flex's car currently facing sideways on the grid. We might be stuck here. We might be stuck, which could be good for everyone who didn't get to set a strategy. Oh. Flex is moving. Alright. Flex has left the session. And this is now the AI driving his car around. I'm not entirely sure how this has happened. I'll send Flex another invite. Alright, we are rehosting. We are rehosting this session. Alright, please hold.
let's talk weather for a second.
I don't care if you make it just dry, but it was 85% at 30 minutes in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know I can set it.
I mean, yeah, there was like a big gap from 15 to 30 when it went from like 20 to 80.
Customize weather. Okay, so what I can do is like make it match the icons that it had. I don't know if it's... I don't know if that makes it exact, or I've never set the weather before, so...
Jeff told me rain in it was in like
Said
15
10.
from race start.
Yeah, that nigga said 10 for me.
Yeah, that's true. Cause yeah, I mean we can do one of two things. We can either just start with the grid order and random weather, and then people
bet it
can do
rained.
free tire choice since they had already decided based on the rain, or I can set it to the icons, but you have to keep your tires. I think those are the fair choices, right?
I'd say you should set it to how it was when we had to keep our tires.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, because
Okay, let's do that.
Better rain. I guarantee you it rain.
All right, so this will be interesting. So I think it was clear, light cloud. Oh, this is interesting.
It's 4 sections?
I think I only get 3.
It was, well, in the quali it said 30 minutes, and then when we were in the...
Yeah, it said 10.
Like 10, 15. So, I don't know, maybe light rain.
Yeah.
One.
I can't really match it to what it was, unfortunately. So we can do dry, wet, wet, or like dry, wet, very wet.
I wouldn't go very wet, because I don't think it would have ever gotten to full wets. If you know what I mean? I feel like inners were going to be the rest of the way.
Okay. All right. I only get 3 slots,
That's
so
just my opinion.
I'm gonna set dry, wet, wet, because it was 30 minutes and 45 minutes were both 89%. So it seems like that's what we want. Fair?
What do you put?
It's dry, wet, wet.
Full wet or light wet?
Just regular wet.
Okay. I like it regular wet.
Alright, and then next we gotta set the grid, so I'll need some assistance.
Take the qualifier off.
Alright. Let me remember how to do this. Cool. So we had... Who was first? Was it Max? Or Decora? Can't remember.
Decora.
Okay, and then Max, right?
Correct.
Who was third? I think it
No
was
idea.
Rafa, right? Does anyone have a screenshot that can post it?
I don't. You're the best. Goated.
Hey,
I was 12,
13.
I know that.
Fussy, baby. Fussy.
I was 5th.
Defunct this. Who was 12?
What was it?
I could have sworn I was
13th.
9th, bro. But I'm 10th, I guess. I was 10th on the down.
Yeah, I think you were 10.
Lined up.
And then Red was 19. Flex was last. What's up with that, Flex? Where
Hey,
you at?
I was 14
Nah, bro.
with,
Said he
with a
crashed.
5-place grid penalty.
Alright, we got the official. Nah, I got it.
Hit go to track. Do not hit go to track, bro.
That wasn't me this time, I promise.
Yeah, I think it was flex, but I think his shit was fucked up. So
Can you read out what you set the weather to again?
yeah, let me set the grid, and then we'll go over everything one more time. Alright, then I was 8th. Sorry for all the clicking, I'm sure it's really annoying. Nah, we're good, I got it up. Ginger Balzac. The bad thing about having a full grid is this takes longer.
Oh, suffering from success.
Yeah, Cub, I didn't know you were gonna make it, bro. Welcome back.
Oh yeah, Cub, bro, you need to quit capping, bro. See me on iRacing, dog. Whenever I'm banned.
You got banned?
Bro, yes, this bitch ass nigga was hoeing my shit, bro. At being, you know how they are in iRacing, bro. Being a hoe ass nigga, and I get on the mic, I'm like, just talking shit. I'm like, bro, you're a hoe ass nigga. You can't drive. You're a bitch. Like everything. And then I get an email like 4 days later.
I maybe should move into the broadcast room. I'm streaming right now.
Oh, my bad.
Alright. We just lost somebody. Who did we just lose?
Oh.
Because we're down to 19, so. Oh, Cubile says, I'm coming 2 minutes. Alright, well. Alright, let me double check everything else. So, someone, I think Brojo asked about the weather. The weather is set dry, wet, wet. Not full wet, just regular wet. So, yeah, within 10 to 20 minutes, it'll turn wet and stay wet.
Or will it?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't actually know how it works, so it'll be a surprise for us all.
Yes.
I only get 3 squares to fill in.
It'd be kind of fun if I had the access to Bernie Eccleston's sprinkler system. Just, press buttons on my controller, make it start raining for people.
So 11 through 20, are we stuck with what we had on the last race?
Yes.
Yes, we're committed to...
Even though we had go to track, so nobody was able to set anything?
No,
Oh.
you can change yours. You can change yours, because I know... Well,
it's just
I guess...
the top 10 who are forced to start on softs.
Yeah,
Okay.
since the strategy is the same, I guess... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to do it the most fair. Like, Brojo, I know you didn't get to pick, so... If there's anyone else that was truly, like, honestly in that scenario, please pick your tire as you would have.
Red Baron, could you send Kubi an invite? Aslan on Steam?
I got him.
Okay, thank you.
I think I'm the only one that's got him, so...
And yeah, I mean, my ruling on it would be like, yeah, go with what you were previously intending to use. Everyone in the top 10 is stuck on the softs that they qualified on, although they technically get a brand new set of softs, but they must start on the softs. If you're outside of the top 10, you had free choice of tires. As Raro said, go with what you would have picked had you had the chance to pick up in the first run.
Honor system and whatnot.
Yeah.
Alright. Just waiting on Cubile.
Yes. And remember to, of course, send Kublai onto the grid.
Yep. He is 6. Alright. I'm gonna read this. Chaos, if you want to double check me in the screenshot here.
Absolutely.
Alright, we got Decora, X-Max, Rafa, Vans in P4, T-Funk, Cubile, Camborn, Raro, Luke Brax, Fiji, Ginger in 11th, Balzac, Goldie, Jay Patel, Rojo in 15th, Nate, Ian, Cub, Red, Flex.
I'm seeing Cub Flex. Red's in 14th, isn't he?
So, Red had 5 place grid penalties. So
Right, of course. Right. Yes, that's correct.
Okie dokie. Let me just once over. I don't want to do this again, ever again. Actually.
Yeah, Kubi just joined back, so yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I just moved him, so it should be good.
Alrighty.
All right, that's good. Assists are good. We're on the right track. No quali. Approximate rain. Alright, I think we're good to go.
Alright. I'll make my way back down to casting.
Cub, you got your number set?
Alright. Once more with style. Alright. So, for the second time in some amount of time, we find ourselves coming here to Interlagos. The grid is set. The rain is coming. And here we go. Hopefully we'll have some time for everyone to get their strategies set in properly this time. As we load in. So, we know that Flex and Camborne are competing for the top spot in this championship, but let's talk about the lower places. There is still an exciting fight going on to see who's going to be able to get their way into third here. Xmax could conceivably score up to 78 points here, so it's possible for Xmax to get as high as 203 points. Kenny LaFleur is not going to be around, unfortunately. Kenny is chilling out in the room with me right now, actually. So Kenny is currently third at 179, but that position is very much under threat by Luke Brax, Rafa, Raro, and Xmax. So Luke has 169 points, and then 19 points back of Luke. We've got Rafa with 150, but Rafa's got 2 wins this season and a trio of second places, so you know that Rafa has potentially huge pace. Raro hasn't had any results better than a second place, and he's got 2 podiums this season in France and Austria. Would have had a third, but Belgium was cancelled partway through before he was able to get himself up into podium positions, but he's been a very consistent point scorer, although only 1 point in the last 2 rounds, due to a couple of things not going his way, and the rain definitely working poorly on the strategy of staying out on softs in Mexico. El Sucio Dan sitting in 7th place, 133 points, but he's not going to be around for the rest of the season. So then we come to Xmax, 125 points. Everyone from Luke Braxtown is in Xmax's sight. Then for the midfielders, we've got Balzac at 86 points. His best result of the season so far is, if I'm not mistaken, a pair of 4th places in Australia and Portugal, respectively. Sheer Insanity at 70 points, but I don't believe Sheer is here today. Prestige, also not present, but at 66 points. Fiji at 51. A couple of podiums in the last couple of races. He got a 3rd place in Mexico. And then Ian Brax at 48, not here tonight, sadly. Red Baron at 37. Taylor Funk at 36. And Taylor has shown some really, really great flashes of pace, and we know he's good. And we've got Get Dunked at 33, not going to be present for the rest of the season. Brother John at 31, Nameless Nate at 25, JL Patel, who is back after a lengthy half season of absences, and Cub, who's just been dropping in for a couple of races. This will be his 3rd season. His best result thus far is 19 points in the 2nd place with fastest lap. Then we got T Goldie at 18, Ginger at 14, Santi at 14. With 9 points, we got Lord Raptor. 6 points, we got Dubman. And Broken Blinker at 1, Jaegershot at 1 with an interesting little situation. Disconnected car scoring 10th place. So once again, we find ourselves on board with Decora looking back to X-Max, who will be lining up on the first place, RFX Rafa and Vans. Rafa, for some reason, seems to be rushing off ahead of everyone else. Taylor Funk in 5th place. Aslan, Camborn, Raro, Luke Brax, and Fiji Domo make up the top 10. Ginger, followed by Balzac, T Goldie, JL Patel, and Brother John down to 15. Then the bottom 5 are going to be Nameless Nate, Ian Brax. Oh, Ian is here, excellent. Just said that Ian was absent, but we do indeed have both Brax. The Alpine is full. Cub lining up in P18. Red Baron with the 5-place grid penalty, demoted from 14th to 19th, and Flex, who had connectivity issues earlier, is going to have to make a fight from the back. And goodness, if you didn't think that Flex was just setting this up to make it an exciting fight, he almost made his way back from the very back of the grid, but then strategy things went terribly wrong in Mexico and he ended up retiring very late in the race. So, he pulls up onto the grid and he lines up, and let us see what we are going to get here. The cars are in place. Five lights. We've got a couple of jump starts, as it's held for a long time. Rafa holding the position here. And we've got a couple of good starters here. Aslan making his way up, a couple of cars going a little bit wide from the back. But it looks like everyone has made it through except for one, and that's Nameless Nate, who looks like he had a bit of trouble here. We've got Balzac making a move going up the inside of Ginger here. And let's have a little bit of a look on the strategies that everyone has picked out here. We've got hards on Ian Brax, mediums on T Goldie, mediums on Brother John, and mediums on Nameless Nate. So not too many changes of position in the top places. Mostly, the person who dropped the most at the front was Vans. Oh, we got a couple of changes of position further back as J.O. Patel goes up the inside of T Goldie, making their way around a little bit wide, a bit of a wiggle there. And with that, that's what it takes for Red Baron to seize position from T Goldie. T Goldie demoted to 17th place, taking a very, very tight line. Here's Flex goes around the outside. Flex up 3 places off of the start. Cub up another 4 places, actually. And here we go. We've got a couple of first lap pit stops. That's Ian Brax coming in. These guys are serving their drive-thrus. We had a couple of jump starters. So Decora with a nice little lead here so far. We got Camborn right on the back of Bravo as he comes down through to see the little line. So the big story is a bunch of drivers having to serve penalties early on in the race. So that has dropped 4 drivers off of the pace, but we'll see if they're able to get back. We could very well have a safety car coming in later on. The conditions are currently dry here in Interlagos, but things are going to change. We've heard it on the winds. No DRS available just yet. Go. Fastest lap for Decora, but not clearing out of DRS range just yet. Let's see if we've got any activity coming in through here. Another regression here. Oh, Fiji picking up a time penalty for a couple of warnings. It is easy to pick up those warnings. Driving T Goldie coming out of the pits here. And it looks like the penalties are getting served for this back group. We're going to have a little battle of their own right here. Nameless Nate on the inside. And That's Nate, one position up on Brother John. Skipping up ahead though, at the other McLaren. Coming up through Chunchao, or Kunchao. Anyways, Junction. Balzac is trying to stay within range of Fiji Dumbo, but you can see he's just close enough to be getting onto the back of that great big DRS train. And at the very back of this group is Red Baron. Ooh, a little bit of a corner cut there. Gotta be careful. You don't want to be collecting the penalties here. They can be rough. So X-Max right on the back of Decora. We're going to see what he's able to do from this position. They're on the exact same position. Indeed, everyone in the top 15 places is on the exact same strategy. So no real changes thus far. So you've got a little bit of a stabilization. You can see that the cars have all just spread out a little bit. But there's a nice little fight breaking up right here, centered around Ginger. Everyone is very, very close, getting caught a little bit. Oh, I've had a little bit of an exchange of position here as Ian Brax goes up the inside of T Goldie. T Goldie trying to carry it around the outside of Laramia. Ooh, and almost loses it for Pinarina, but he holds on to it. Nonetheless, Ian Brax has been able to take over the position. Move up. Oh. I looked and then I looked away, and that is Cambor making a dive up the inside of Browercopter, taking 6th place. Meanwhile, just a little bit further back, I think we saw a pass with Brax. And now, we got some more aggression. Good to see. Oh, that's someone going very slowly. That's Flex. Flex has had a spin. But there's a lot of space behind him. For comparison, let's have a little bit of a look at Cub here. Actually, let's not look at Cub just now. Let's look at Raro, see if he can make a move back on Cambor, because he is following very, very closely. Oh, we've had Nameless Nate with a spin in the Senna S's, but he gets going. He's still in things, and he's still ahead of Jayol Patel, who has had a rough start to the race. Cub through on Ginger. A little bit further back, and with that, Cub is made his way up to 12th position. Let's see if he's able to make something happen on Balzac here. The car's racing their way along the straight. We've got a couple of close followers here. As a matter of fact, there might be a bit of action a bit further up. Alpine sees if it can have a little look, but that's not going to happen for Luke Brax. Cub holds position. Red Baron starting to fall off this group a little bit as Balzac weaves to the inside, working to break that toe just a little bit. Luke Brax and Fiji, a little bit of a battle, and Luke is able to seize that inside position. There's not going to be a line for Fiji, or is there? Going to have a little bit of a look as he makes his way up to Ferradura. Coming around, taking a little bit of a wide line, but not enough space on the inside. He carries a wild, wide, aggressive line, but it's not going to be enough to get him back on Luke Brax. We're currently getting about 3 major groups in this front section. We've got Battle for the lead, of course. We've got X-Max, pursued by Rafa, pursued by Aslan, and then a little bit of a gap to Camborne. Camborne's got Taylor Funk, Bravo, and Vance, and goodness, aren't those two looking close. This is the battle on board with Vance as he watches Bravo and Taylor Funk. Taylor Funk has made a position up on Bravo, and now Bravo is looking to be in a lot of trouble. Here we go. Cam, Taylor, Bravo. Alright, and of course there's a little gap back there. Yes, to Luke Brax, Fiji, and Cub. Oh, we've just had a spin. It's Ginger. Is there any damage? Is he going to be able to keep on moving? Yes, he's back on the track. And that's a rough moment for Ginger there. No safety car though. Meanwhile, we've got Ian Brax who's right on the back of T Goldie. We're going to see if he's able to do anything. But you know what? I really need to have a look at this battle with Fiji, because he's got a couple of cars in right behind him. This is Luke, Fiji, Cub, and Balzac all together here. Not playing around at all. And that is a change of position. Or is it? Fiji, Cub, and it comes out Cub. Fiji has to give up the position, and he drops out of what are currently the point scoring places. Further ahead, we've got Vans with another good run on Raro. He's making his way along, coming up towards turn 1. But he doesn't go for it. Oh, there we go. Bit of a moment there as we have Cub diving up the inside of Luke Brax. And Cub takes 9th. Now he's going to be on a charge further up through the field here. Fiji has got a bit of DRS. Going to see if he can do anything from that. Meanwhile, up ahead, we've got Browro taking position back from Taylor Funk and reclaimed 6th place. But further back, Ginger. Ah, that's a pit stop from Ginger. That's what that is. Ian Brax, a little bit of side by. I hate when that angle happens. Ian Brax 15th, T Goldie 16th, but now he's got the DRS. Ian Brax, oh, little Mo's lag there. The two of them come into the corner together. And they're side by side through Distrito del Lago. And now, what are they going to do through Ferradura? Well, 2 into 1 just does not go. Once again, Vans. Now this time it's Taylor Funk who's vulnerable. But Taylor Funk has some DRS of his own. Vans is diving up the inside. With that, the Ferrari seizes P7 from Taylor Funk. The softs are going to be getting a little bit older, and the skies are going to be getting a little bit darker. Let's move up a little bit because we've got this crowd. Nameless Nate, currently ghosted. I see it's 17 seconds off of Ginger. This is, of course, a short circuit. Not in the electrical sense, but rather, it does not take very long to get around. There's a lot of laps. There's a lot of lapping and lap cars that will be involved. And while lap cars are required to get out of the way, they are ghosted, so they can only interact by messing around with your aerodynamics. So we got the big fight going on here for these lower point scoring positions. Right now it's Cam, who is just narrowly holding off Raro and Vans. The key moment is going to be if Raro can get dropped by Cam, or he's going to be extremely vulnerable, but it's not happening yet. Meanwhile, we've got Taylor Funk just behind here, and we've got Fiji and Balzac making up places because Luke Brax has come into the pits. Meanwhile, Red Baron being chased down by Flex. It's another set of softs for Luke Brax. Meanwhile, T Goldie gonna come out. Let's see if he's gonna be close enough to catch up because he's got Ian Brax right behind him. Oh, Ian's got a huge burst of speed on him here as he goes up the inside, coming into turn 1. Oh. And that's going to be 15th place for Ian Brax. So going ahead, we've got Ian in 15th, Luke, and then, oh goodness, I just have to have a look because this fight is remaining close. Cam, Robro, Vans, and Taylor Funk. These four have been going at it, and it looks like we're having a little bit of a crowd up in front since Nameless Nate has good pace against these guys, so he's not really getting dropped away from this group here. So Decor continues to lead X-Max, Rafa, and Campbell. And now, let's have a look into here. Once again, everyone holds position. And now it's Fiji Domo who takes a pit stop. Oh, I think I saw just a dribble of water here. So these guys on their softs are just going to want to make them last just a little bit longer. Flex coming up on Red Baron. He comes around, brakes just a little bit later, leaves a bit of space on the inside, but Red Baron has to see the position. And that is going to be 11th place for Flex. Fiji coming out on mediums. It's going to be a difficult situation here. So Bravo remains very, very close to Camborne, and the whole front four remain within DRS range of each other, and Cam has fallen 5 seconds off of the back of Aslan. So we've got full deploy from Vance as he is working. He has the opportunity right here. The DRS flap is open. He's going to go for the wide line. He's going to go for the wide line. Raro up the inside. He brakes later, but can he hold it? Raro holding his line up the inside. And there we go. Oh, nearly runs into the back, and this is going to open up a possibility for Taylor Funk to see if he can now get something back. Vans defends the inside as Raro goes full deploy around the outside. Taylor Funk coming up the inside now. Vans is now holding the position. I haven't seen any more splashes of water, so these guys are going to be struggling. Their tires are really, really going to be hurting right now. Decora continues to lead the lead group, and there we go. We're getting some rain now. I think we're going to trust that it's time for intermediates once the DRS gets disabled. That's, I think, the best sign that you can get from the game, unless you're extremely good at reading the varied conditions. Taylor Funk all over the back of Brower right now. I don't think Brower is feeling super comfortable on the tires at this level of wear, at this level of slip. Let's see if anyone... Yes, here we go! Rafa is risking it for the pits. Camborne does not. Vans does not. Brower says, give me one more lap, but Taylor Funk might not be giving him one more lap. T-Funk coming around. Can he brake a little bit later? He comes around wide into the corner, but it's too deep. And with that, Raro is able to hold on to the position. Meanwhile, we've got a couple of drivers who are coming out. Rafa is the first to risk it. Flex the second. Red Baron the third. Luke Brax is staying out, as is Fiji. Nope, is Fiji coming in just one lap on the mediums. And he's pitting awfully early. Let's see what T. Goldie does. T. Goldie is not going to go for it, nor is Ian Brax. Brother John. Ginger coming around. What's his pick going to be? This is going to be recovery racing from Ginger. He's not going to go for it just yet. He doesn't think the time is right. Oh, did Red Baron put on hards? That is... I don't know if that was deliberate or not. But that's going to be a tricky situation for him. Joe Patel does not pit, and here we come with Nameless Nate, who's right in the middle of this group. Is he going to pit out? He is not. So Decor continues to lead X-Max. Vans is very, very close onto the back of Camborne, and Raro has actually lost DRS range. Cam dives in. Raro also coming in. Taylor Funk stays out. So here we go. Balzac making his way around, and let's see how things are looking for our boy RFX Rafa, the very first to take the chance on the intermediates. He's put it on. So we're not going to get a representative lap time yet, of course, because this is taking into account that he had a pit stop. Balzac puts on a pair of softs. Alright. Figures there might be a little bit more time, and you can lose a lot of time on those inters. T. Goldie coming in. Oh no, but that's a 5-second penalty. Ian Brax manages to keep clean. Red Baron is in. Ginger now deciding that the time has come. Brother John as well. Fiji Dummo out on the inters, and now he's making his way back up, but there is a big, big gap ahead. He's going to come out just ahead of T. Goldie, I think, but it's going to be awful close between these. Oh, T. Goldie into the wall! Oh no, what a disaster. I hope he did not take any damage there, because these conditions are tricky. Very, very tricky. Oh, we've had a spin, and that's Taylor Funk, who, oh, these conditions are so risky, but same's over Vans here. Alright, so, now with more people pitting in, Aslan, Decora, X-Max, Cub, Vans, these guys all need to get in and get out. So here they are, Decora, X-Max, Aslan, and Cub. Vans making his way in right now after that little moment. Did he lose any front wing? No, it looks like the front wing's okay. Nope, never mind. That's a new front wing going on. Vans just ahead of Luke Brax, who is also coming in, taking off those softs. So we're going to see he comes out in what looks like it's going to be 11th place, because this is Flex making his way out, and now we only have Balzac, who just did one lap on these. I'm sure that must have been a mistake, just coming in a little bit too late and not getting it set in time. But with Balzac switching, it is now everyone on the same strategy. Everyone is on intermediates, and with that, I think there's no reason at all for us to have a look at the entire detail. So let's instead, let's see. I think the penalties are probably the thing to be looking at right now. So Decora is now leading X-Max and Aslan, or Aslan. I'm never quite sure how you're supposed to pronounce that in Guardian Lion. Oh, hello, do we have some changes of position further back? Yes, we do, as Balzac makes his way out just behind the Baron. So Red Baron holding 14th, and T Goldie also doing a pit stop. Yeah, it was that damage that he had on the pit exit. And this is actually going to bring Nameless Nate kind of close to his teammate. So Decora leads at this point. And the nearest fight that we've got right now is Flex. So Flex, after starting from 20th and having a difficult start to the race with the loss of control. Oh, hello. Cubs just made up a position on Rara. Flex is close to Vans, but I don't think quite close enough to make an offensive just yet. And with these changing conditions, suddenly everyone has pitted off all at the very same time, and it's thrown them all over the track. So all of these close fights are kind of getting broken up. But we still got a little bit of a fight up at the lead here. That's T Goldie getting out of the way of X-Max. Aslan coming through as well. The conditions are difficult. Very, very tricky. We've just had a disconnection from Flex. I'm going to make sure that he gets back into this race because that is someone you don't want to have missing from this fight. So Flex is momentarily disconnected. But we're going to see what his AI can do while it's got him under control for the moment. Aslan has fallen outside of DRS range, not that DRS currently matters all that much. And we've got Balzac who's falling very close behind Red Baron. Let's see what he's able to do here as he makes his way down through Inurino. Oh, Red Baron with a little bit of a kick there. Meanwhile, up ahead, Luke Brax has made his way through and goes to Flex. We're all hoping that Flex is able to get back as soon as possible. Oh, Red Baron off the track. And that is enough to allow Balzac through. Ginger only a short ways behind, looking to make up some places. We've got a very, very full grid right now, so there's a lot of positions to be gained and lost. Brother Tron now also not too far off of his teammate, 2.7 seconds back off of Ginger. Balzac goes a little bit deep into the corner, and that's going to allow Red Baron some opportunities. But let's refresh and have a little look at the lead group. So we've got Decora with a 4-second interval to the car behind. That is currently a lapped J.O. Patel behind him. So here's X-Max and P2 ahead of Eslam. Wrap up 2 seconds back to Camborne, who did pretty well off with the pit stops there. And then he is ahead of Cub, who is leading Raro. Taylor Funk behind Raro. Vans behind Taylor Funk, just making his way up the hill right now. Luke Brax coming up the base of the hill, and Flex just making his way around with Chow. PG Tomo is 11 seconds back on there, currently making his way up to the very same corner, and he's got Ian Brax right behind him. Then we've got Balzac, who's just a short ways back, and he has got, ooh, Red Baron with a moment. J.O. Patel losing a position there. Let's see what happens. I think he just had a spin there. So Ginger is right on the back of Red Baron now. Now let's see if he's able to make something happen here. Let's turn on the telemetry. No passes this lap, but he might try to force Red Baron to brake a little bit late, get a bit aggressive. Oh, Red Baron into the wall! He's back on the track, but is he going to need any repairs off of that? T Goldie is a little ways behind, but Red Baron is currently fairly far outside of the points. That's just going to make things more and more difficult for him. Meanwhile, we've got a spin further ahead. That's J.L. Patel, currently having a rough day. It is his first race back, so I wouldn't at all blame him for being a little bit rusty. We've all been there before. Balzac's got Ginger close in behind him, and Aslan is very, very close to X-Max, but he has 8 seconds of penalties, which is definitely going to come and bite him a little bit later this race. As we see him make his way around, chasing down X-Max's Ferrari, seeing what he can do to close this gap up. Meanwhile, the two of them both have to consider that Decora is just building up a bit of a gap up ahead. Oh, we just lost J.O. Patel. I think he was hanging up his driving gloves for the day, just saying, okay, that's enough for me, boys. And with that, Jay is out of the race and we have our first retirement. Seems that his car is still on the track, or maybe it's pulled into the last. We've got a yellow flag through Sector 1 at any rate. So Ginger on Balzac. Oh, hello. That's Red Baron. Yeah, has to take a pit stop, get that front wing repaired. Let's take a moment and have a peek at Cub, because he is currently chasing down Cambor. And further up ahead, we've just had Ian Brax getting through on Flex. I'll send him another invite. So Balzac is defending effectively here. So the question is, are we going to get a safety car, which is absolutely going to toss this race up into the air? Or are things going to continue to be spread out this way? Right now, Cub is right on the back of Cambor. Cam's going to have a little bit of his aerodynamics being disrupted by the lapped car of Nameless Nate right now. Cub with a big charge up the inside. He's got a ton of pace, and that is allowing Cub to make position up on Cambor. Cam right now, things are looking fairly promising for him in the championship, but it's not necessarily for the reasons you like. Right now, Flex is having all manner of computer and connectivity issues. We're working to get that sorted out for him. Oh, Nameless Nate goes a little bit wide there, but it looks like Cub's probably going to be able to outbrake him into the next coming couple of corners. There we go. Cub through on Nameless Nate. Nate himself, by the way, chasing down T. Goldie. He's 5 seconds off of his Alfa Romeo teammate. And there's T. Goldie, who incidentally is right ahead of the other Mercedes. These things happen in pairs. Cambor now making his way around. Just ghosting in and out of Nameless Nate's car. And behind them is Robert, who's 7 seconds off the pace of Cambor. He's currently most concerned about Taylor Funk, who is in 8th place, and he has got a nice little gap ahead of Vans, who is 4 seconds clear of Luke Brax. Fiji Dummo has a bit of a gap that he has to make up here to get into the potential point scoring positions, and we are past the halfway point of this race right now. So Cam is through on Nameless Nate. Robert is just cruising in at the trap. He'll be looking to drop him at the next little bit. We've just had a yellow. Is that... Let's see. Momentary yellow, but it seems that all is well. So we've got a close little fight here. Balzac, Ginger, and Flex. And we've got... Is that Luke? No? Is that Ian? No, that's a blue car of some sort. Whose blue car is that? That's T-Funk. Taylor Funk loses position there with a little spin, but he's able to recover it. Now he's got Vans right on his tail. Vans is going to go for a move. Doesn't look like this is the moment, but Vans has to be very conscious of Luke Brax and Fiji Dummo behind him. Less so Fiji, there's a 20-second gap there, but you never know where this race is going to go. We still have 14 laps to run. This is Ian on Fiji. Seeing if he can make something happen. He peeks inside, he peeks outside. He's going to see if he can get anything to happen at Pico de Pato and Mergulho. But no, he comes into the penultimate corner here and he doesn't quite have the run he needs. Fiji's a little bit wide though, and Ian Brax can take advantage of this and get the power on quickly. They both have a little bit of a rare moment there. And now we're going to see if Ian can take the faster line. Fiji is close here as the two race their way along through the start-finish straight. Here they are, up the inside. And as they charge out, he tries to take the inside line, but it's not going to be enough. Fiji holds on to P11. Ian Brax doesn't have him yet. Fiji and Ian both expending an awful lot of their energy recovery right now, and Ian is tapped out. He's going to have to save up for another offensive. And with that, Fiji has successfully defended his position. But we'll see if more opportunities do arise. We also have Vans in his pursuit. Let's see if we can get anything in the run. No, that's going to be too far back. That offensive is not happening, not this lap. So Ian really is going to want to get through on Fiji here so that he can make his way up into the point scoring positions. He's one of the drivers who's managed to stay clean thus far. And as such, he doesn't have to worry about the time that's hanging over the heads of other drivers such as Taylor, Vans, and Luke. Red Baron picks up his first 3 seconds of the night. Fiji continuing to effectively defend 11th place. We now have 12 laps left. We're 2/3 of the way through this Brazilian Grand Prix. Balzac being chased down by Ginger. Then we've got Brother John. Flex still disconnected, unfortunately. T Goldie, Nameless Name, and Red Baron. Decor is coming up, looking to be lapping Brother John, who's currently in 15th place. He is pursued by X-Mac and Aslan. Rafa is maintaining a close position, which could potentially be a podium, and Cub is steadily reeling in his teammate, all running the same strategy, mind you. Camborn, currently 3.7 seconds back, and he's got a nice little gap to Rarocopter. Taylor Funk, meanwhile, is sitting a little ways back on Raro, and he's got fans all over him. Seeing if he can get the power up through the Crow of the Soul. But it looks like Taylor Funk has the drive that he needs to defend for the moment. Of course, keep in mind these two. Oh, we've had a bit of a moment as Fiji going into the pits. He's going to switch over onto a new set of intermediates. Flex, meanwhile, his Ghost continues to fall positions. Brother John's going to come through, and this is going to send Fiji out ahead of all these other guys. We'll switch back to having a little bit of a look at the current tire strategy, since everyone else's intermediates are going to be getting a little bit worn at this point. Van's maintaining his offensive against Taylor Funk, and Taylor has built up a couple of tenths of a second, so it's going to be a very, very difficult run. And it looks like Flex's AI is coming in, hitting for what should be a final set of intermediates to take him through to the end. Rafa is now getting close to Aslan, and this is going to be an interesting fight. This is for podium positions here. And they've currently got the vehicle of, I do believe that is Fiji Domo. So let me check on that. Yeah, right in the middle there. Rafa's closing in, and this can only suggest that some of these intermediate tires are starting to feel pretty old. Of course, we want to see if these frontrunners are going to be willing to take the risk, bite the bullet, and put on another set of intermediates, since taking them the whole race distance is a bit of a tough ask. It would be very neat to see if any of these leaders go for it. Run thus far this lap, Rafa remains close to Aslan. Let's have a look and see where their deployment is. Camborn, he's into the pits. Bravo as well. Let's see what Taylor Funk's gonna do. Since he's still got Vans right on his tail. Taylor Funk stays out, Vans stays out. Luke Brax here in P10. He's not going to go for it. And then there's a big gap back to Ian Brax. Let's take our way back up to RFX Rafa then. He's close to Aslan. We're seeing the new order as the cars come up. Camborne is making his way out of the pits, and he is between Vans and Brax. Rafa getting close, but he is in that difficult spot where he's not quite going to be able to come out close enough to get a real charge on Aslan. Nonetheless, if either of them have a bad launch here, Aslan is also coming up on the back of Fiji Domo. Currently running P15. Fiji lets him through. Consider driving, letting everyone through, so he's not going to be messing anyone's aerodynamics up. Rafa stays half a second off of the back of Aslan, who is still holding third place, although he is going to lose it on penalties if something doesn't change later on here. Meanwhile, this holdup is allowing Cub to catch Fiji, lets him through, and now Rafa getting real close to Aslan here. We've got a battle further back. Ginger is chasing Balzac. Let's have a little look at that for a moment. It's a battle for 12th place right now. We've had very low... Oh, I just cursed it. I just said we've had very low attrition, and Brother John has a little bit of spin, but it looks like all is still well. Flex still currently disconnected. We're hoping he can get back in. So back to this battle. For the front positions, Cub has now thoroughly caught up on these two, and I think it's time to have a little bit of a watch. This group is Aslan fighting off Rafa and Cub making his way through. I wonder if that's some team play going on here. Since now he is going to be taking a shot at Aslan. They're running long. I think they're going to try and take these intermediates all the way to the end. T Goldie coming into the pit lane. Yep, there we go. Fresh front wing for Brother John. T Goldie just making his way out right now. And T Goldie will be coming out ahead of Brother John, just a little ways behind. Nameless Nate, who has worked his way steadily back up into 15th place and now finds himself the loneliest man on track. Oh no! Oh, you hate to see it. Red Baron currently running a fairly lonely position right now, 13 seconds off. But we have got some close battling by the front. It's Cub, and he is right on the back of Aslan, and Aslan is looking to be in for a world of hurt as the Cub is learning to hunt. I mean, I say that in the sense of like Cub, the young bear, but I don't think he has much to learn. He is a very capable... Hello? Safety car? Safety car out. What has just happened? Let me see. Something has happened that necessitates. Balzac is going slowly. Brother John. We had Ginger and Balzac had a major collision, and that brings out a safety car. This is going to change a lot. So Decora and X-Max and Aslan are all through. They haven't pitted. RFX Rafa is going to get an opportunity to pit. Taylor Funk is quite a ways behind, so that's not going to cost Rafa anything at all. Vans is coming around now, and Camborne's already made his pit stop. So this is going to shake things up. So Rafa making his way ever so cautiously out of the pit lane. He knows he doesn't have to rush. Taylor Funk coming out. Vans as well. They're not hitting. Interesting. These penalties are going to become very harsh when everyone gets compressed together in the last couple of laps. Luke Brax comes out. Raro's already pitted, so he's just going to soar by these guys. Luke Brax coming in. Did he also have to serve a penalty? I'm not sure. I'm curious about the rules on serving penalties in that sort of situation. Ian Brax coming around. He is also going to hit in Ginger while he was involved in the crash with Balzac there. I'm not 100% sure if there's damage on either of these cars. Gets the brakes. Makes his way in. So too does Balzac. Decora has been collected, and this is actually quite important that this has just happened, so let's see. Serving a 5-second time penalty. And now, off come the tires. And where's he gonna come out? He comes out just behind the lapped Red Baron. Meanwhile, Decora slowly making his way around him. He's not going to pit. This could be that critical moment. Rafa pitted, and he's got totally fresh tires for whenever this race comes to its end. So at this point now, Decora, X-Max, and Aslan are absolutely committed to this strategy. They can't do anything but stay on those. Taylor Funk is also committed to it, but we've got Cam, Raro, Luke Brax, Ian Brax, everyone in the lower positions is going to be looking at making their way to the end of this race on a fresh set of intermediates. So here we go. Nate catches himself up. And we got Flex and Brother John, Red Baron. Is that a wild Luke Brax I see just floating around some distance off? So actually, technically, only Camborne here is in on the lead lap. Since Raro, yes, Raro has not yet collected onto the back of the safety car chain. I suspect we'll have one more lap under the safety car here, and then things will be good to finish. Things get very, very compressed here through Pico de Pado. Luke Brax currently stuck behind Flex. And Ian Brax a long ways off of his brother, but they're in potential point scoring positions. And this actually causing this split in positions. This is really going to drop everyone outside of the lead group out of likely contention. Since, yeah, Fiji Domo is now going to be stuck very far behind Balls. There's tricky rules with unlapping yourself from the safety car, but we'll see how they go. So, Decora leads, and we now have 5 laps left in the race. At least one of those is going to be under safety car. So we've got this whole group steadily making their way around the Senna S's. Flex very, very slowly catching up with the tail end of the group there. And now, Luke is in. We're just waiting on Ian. And then we've got this little group led by Red Baron racing their way around. So we might have yet one more lap under the safety car. And this, oh goodness, everyone with the penalties is just going to be hurting so much from this. This is once again absolutely amazing for Camborne, who might just be able to steal a fantastic result from everyone else's penalties and the inability to clear any space to get rid of them. So again, all of the front 4 plus Taylor Funk and Vance are on vulnerable tires. Now let's look at this. X-Max and Aslan are in very, very difficult positions right now. I don't envy either of them because Aslan is just going to get absolutely spanked. Let's look at the interval. Oh, safety car in this lap. Safety car in this lap. That's going to be critical. These gaps to the leader are all important. So Decora is going to be leading up the safety car, but my eyes are going to be on RFX Rafa. He's got a little bit of a gap he's allowing to form. Doesn't want to let that get too big, or else he's going to have a bit of difficulty charging onto the back of these guys. Decora takes the way. So here he comes, making the way down. X-Max goes for a move up the inside, and there's a little bit of a gap. We've got a Fiji Dumbo in the middle of this. Taylor Funk, Vans, and Camborne. Camborne's got to clear T Goldie, who is down a lap. And Raro, just a little ways behind Camborne, also in the clear of penalties club. So Decora, currently fending off X-Max and Aslan. We've got Cub and Rafa in a critical position here. He's got the fresh tires. Oh, and Cub picks up his first penalty of the race. Oh, we've got Raro. Raro has had a spin just a few laps to the finish, and he spins. Meanwhile, Balzac in a little battle with Ginger here. Raro retires from the race. And that's it for Raro's chance of points here tonight. Yellow flag's out. And you can see Fiji off on the side here. Tons of ghosted cars in the place. There's a little bit of chaos here. And I'm not talking about myself, as Cub is through, Rafa's through, and now we've got this lead group in a battle for the remaining 2 laps of the, sorry, I should say 3 laps of the race. We've got lap 34, 35, and 36 yet to be run. So Decora making his way through. We've got some aggression here as Cub is trying to get through Aslan. He's tied up on the inside, leaves the car's width to the inside edge. And that is it. Aslan has lost position. Cub is through. Now is Rafa going to be able to do the same? Aslan is seeing if he can make a move around the outside. He comes through, but I don't think there's an advantageous line to be had here, and he has to back out of it. This is now going to give an opportunity for Rafa to maybe do something here. As Aslan picks up another penalty, Aslan is going to be tumbling. And Van spins! More cars losing it left, right, and center. Ian Bragg's now right here. Look at this crowd that we've got. Nameless Nate and Fiji Dumbo. I think they're in a battle with each other, actually. Yes, and they are, as a matter of fact. And Nameless Nate makes his way through on Fiji, as Fiji was, I think, getting out of the way. There's a bit of confusion here, but these are all positions outside the points right now. Meanwhile, if we go up, I'm keeping the eyes on the gaps to the leader, because you have to do the math to figure out where people are looking to be sitting up. But right now, Camborne is going to be making up a whole heap of time, because everyone in front of him has penalties. Decora is looking very, very comfortable, as he is your current race leader, just making his way in. But then we've got X-Max. Cub, who is now looking at taking position from X-Max and getting clear of everyone behind him, because he does not want Cam to be within 3 seconds of his rear light. Aslan now fending off RFX Rafa. Rafa seeing if he can do anything to make fast. Aslan leaves to the inside and then back onto the outside line. One move and a return, that's clear. And now Taylor Funk seeing if he can make something happen, and Camborne just needs to follow close. Taylor Funk bangs the wall, and that allows Camborne through, and that allows Luke Brax through, and now maybe even Ian is going to be able to make a position in here. We've got a couple of cars battling. Whoa, what's that? That's just Ginger going through on a lapped car. T. Goldie picks up a time penalty. Meanwhile, X-Max, where did I just lose track of where things were for a moment there? Well, that's Rafa through on Aslan. And now Aslan is just going to be looking, because keep in mind, his time's going to be he's going to be back to 9th place, or actually, potentially 8th place with Taylor Funk's penalties. We'll see where things come out, but we are currently coming up to the final lap. X-Max is looking at Decora, Cub is looking at X-Max, and Cub is looking at the inside on X-Max. He's braking late, he's going around the corner, he's holding, he's got overlap, and now they come through. X-Max leaves just a little bit of space, and now Cub has a bit of a run around the outside, holding on the traction in these difficult positions. We go back to his teammate, but he doesn't quite have a view. X-Max has the inside line on Cub. Is he going to try and outbrake him? He goes for a dive up the inside. Can he hold the line? He has to leave a car's width on the outside. Cub barely holds into it, and X-Max continuing to fight tooth and nail for it as they come around on the final lap here. Cub has now taken position from X-Max. Now it's up to Rafa. Is Rafa able to stay within 2 seconds? I think he is going to be able to do it to potentially make this a Mercedes double podium. X-Max is continuing to try and battle for this position. Meanwhile, Camborne is behind here. He's trying to stay close enough that he can pick up, but Cub has actually now gotten himself clear of Camborne. Cam just needs to clear in a little bit more distance, get close enough that he is able to hold on to this. Let's take a moment and again have a little bit of a look. Fastest lap currently sitting on Ginger, so no one's going to get any points for that. We've got the top 3 all 20 lap old tires, and it's Camborne and Rafa who have the potentially advantageous tires. But here we are, we're coming in. It is the final corner as Decora makes his way around for what will be a first victory in FRL. Decora takes P1. Cub crosses line second, X-Max, but then he's demoted. Rafa is on the podium. Camborne up to P3, half a second off. And now here we go, the positions are coming through. It's X-Max, Ian Brax, Taylor Funk in P8. Vans coming through. He hasn't set a time yet, and he's got Balzac right behind him. Vans, does he have a 3-second gap? I think he just has enough of a gap, but we're gonna see. Vans comes through. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the race. Driver of the Day Cup, I can't really blame that choice on anyone. That was an exciting race. And there we have it. An excellent win for Decora, Cub P2, and Camborn with a very, very important third place there. RFX Rafa comes through in P4 ahead of Luke Brax, XMAX, Ian Brax, Taylor Funk, Vans, Balzac, Aslan, Ginger, Fiji Dummo, and Nameless Nate, Brother John, T Goldie, Red Baron. Flex unfortunately disconnected. Bravo went for the retirement late on after that crash, and J.O. Patel also. So actually, no one actually crashed out of this race. And Ginger, who had the fastest lap, means that no one scores fastest lap on this one. Alright, well, this has been a bit of a wild race here from Formula Racing League, but this has been chaos. Who's been casting for you tonight? Thank you very much for everyone who tuned in and everyone who's watching this on the replay. We'll be coming to you next week from Abu Dhabi and 1 week thereafter from Italy. Which is to say, we're going to be coming not from Monza, but from San Marino, where we're going to have our final race. Thank you very much for tuning in to Formula Racing League.